Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Please consider subscribing. We're trying to bring a lot of cool out of the box content. I got my music coming too, so really looking forward to the future of this channel. But let's get going in today's video. Today I want to talk about the concept of what does a developed individual look like? What is success? What is a spiritually grounded human being look like in terms of their evolution? And are there things that you're going to unlock that make life even more enjoyable as you essentially increase your frequency and become the closer version to your pure soul, which I think is one of the main reasons you come to Earth. It's the journey, and it is a lot of fun when you dive into it, but it's also very challenging. So, pros and cons of life, my friend. Pros and cons of life. All right, but I also think that so much of what's on the medias, the social medias, talks about success. Everything's about economical, and economical success and financial success is essentially worthless. It's a classic story of like the Zen teacher where there's, a rock at a table and he tells the guy, pick up the rock. And the guy picks up the rock and goes, "Ooh, see, I can do it." And then he puts the rock, then he grabs the rock, puts it back down. And then the Zen guy goes, "No, lift it up with your soul." And it's just a whole different way to think about life and unlocking, certain abilities that maybe are even, miracles. I guess you could bring up, some of the biblical stories. Well, how were those actually done? This is a video talking about like on that path and thinking that like, maybe those things are actually possible for someone to develop with the right knowledge and the right love for themselves and their environment. All right, so these are just, once again, this is a concept video we're building. Hopefully, maybe get some comments and I'll make part two of this or down the road. But ability to see color when you hear music. I don't know anyone who can do this, but I've read online that people can do this. And I think it's a really cool thing. And to me, I think that notes, I play guitar, I think notes in music, I could easily see it having color. But yeah, I think that's an ability that either people have from birth, or maybe your enjoyment for music could really grow into a point where that is actually possible. And what a cool thing if that is possible to develop. Ability to see color around someone or see someone's aura. I know this exists. There's a lot of kids that can do this. It's usually a thing that fades away in someone's life, but I'm pretty convinced that you could redevelop it. I heard that there's this book, well, I have the book right here, but Magic Eye is essentially, I heard a lady talking about that she has the ability to do this and she's an adult, and she says like this is the book that like helped her recapture how to essentially use your peripherals to see someone's energy field, because this book is essentially an eye trick, but it teaches you how to look at the world differently versus, I guess, from what she was saying, that when you look at something normally, you just focus on the object and the detail around it. And what you really want to do is not focus on the detail at all. And that peripheral change allows you to start seeing things allegedly like someone's aura. But, once again, I know that there's a lot of kids out there, and if you're an adult and you're like, "Oh, I used to be able to do that," comment, let us know. Okay, ability to channel. If you don't know what this is, you're gonna think it's pretty wacky, but I mean, people online can do it. I mean, there's people who make literal professions of channeling. You can type in anyone who's either past live or essentially any object like water. I've seen people channel the energy known as like water and what the frequency of water. But it seems to be something that people are, I'm seeing more and more people with the ability to channel um, and just connect with past lives and be able to speak to them. The Jesus ones are pretty next level, also pretty intense. But if you're ever in a down moment and you want some high frequency or large frequency, intense words of wisdom, then there you go. Check it out. Channeling. If you want to know how your favorite rock star died, channeling. But yeah, good fun in the channeling community. All right, ability to see someone else's perspective without ego. This is how you can really help someone. And this is so rare. I only know like 2 people my entire life who can, like, I think actually do this. Is usually when someone gives someone else advice, it's always attached with like their perspective and their own ego. And so to put your ego completely aside and truly see someone else's perspective and give advice like from their exact point of view is just super, super, super rare. And how do you do this? Or you're asking, well, how do you do that? Well, once again, you got to remove your ego and have so much enjoyment and love and appreciation for the person asking you for advice to be able to jump in their shoes. So it is simple, but for some reason it's just hard. You know, I tend to sometimes give advice on this channel, and it's something I'm constantly thinking about. Is like, was that advice from your energy, or was that advice from their energy? Was that advice to their soul? Was that advice from you to back to you? Something to always consider anytime you're giving advice. I have public speaking on this list. I think public speaking is a superpower, and I think everyone can do it, and I think everyone should work on it and develop, because especially in a time of need, public speaking is an absolute superpower. All right, this one's a little bit crazy. The ability to levitate. I don't know when levitating would even be usable. I mean, but allegedly, I know a guy who was like around a Zen master, and he said that guy floated. So the reason why, like, I'm even bringing this up is because if that's true, then a lot of the miracles in the Bible have to be true. If someone can actually levitate, then we're talking about the realm. And you have the concept of Earth, and you have the concept that Earth's a realm. I live in the concept that Earth's a realm most of the time, because you have death Earth, where everything dies and nothing lives, and then you have realm Earth, which is like everything is connected, and everything's alive, and nothing dies, and everything is feng shui, in peace, balances of the forces, realm Earth. So levitating, I guess so. And the guy said, like, he thinks the way the guy levitated, once he removed his ego. You have ego and you have soul. He removed his ego so well that his body was starting to raise its vibration physically. Whether it's possible or not, guys, I don't know. This is a concept video, but I just want to say, pretty cool. And then also have like the ability to control physical. I mean, it's like walking on water, same thing. But yeah, a high ability in the arts. I think there's something to be said about someone who can become super good at something that is in the form of art. I think that takes a lot of intelligence and spiritual want to be able to express yourself in a high art form. All right, an inventor. And what a real inventor is, what it is your ability to handle truth and your ability to essentially channel the unknown. That is not a normal ability. There's not many people that invent something that like changes the world, or even like makes the world more simple. If you're an inventor, then you're probably someone who has a really great ability to handle truth and be able to push yourself past fear. And that is an extremely special ability that unlocks, I would say, almost every single door there will ever be in this lifetime. Sorry, I gotta jump back in here editing this video. Also, a giant one that's very subtle is the ability to diffuse any situation, especially when there's a moment of a very intense negative vibration individual. A person who can essentially buckle down and be absolutely fearless and appreciate that person's presence will immediately halt any negative action that's going to take place. It is truly like having the force. All right, just another one. All right, guys, once again, this video I think is a little bit of a wild one, but I think it's an interesting concept. Is what does a developed person have that is different than a non-developed person? And these are just a few things that I've seen that I think, well, to be able to do any of this list, I think requires some developed ability spiritually to be able to, pull off. All right, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Once again, please consider subscribing. A lot more videos coming. But yeah, really looking forward to the future of this channel. Thanks all.